unstoppable. I'm a Persia with no brains. I'm invincible. They have won every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today.
যারা এই দোয়াটা পড়বে আল্লাহ আপনারে গুপ্তধন হাতে দিবেন। মাটির তলায় পিতলের কলসির ভিতরে 2-3 হাজার সোনার টাকা পাওয়া যায়। এক রাতেই একদিনেই কোটি টাকার মালিক করে দিবেন। আমার মুখে মুখে বলুন, ইয়া হাইয়্যু ইয়া কাইয়্যুম লা ইলাহা ইল্লা আনতা বিরহমাতিকা আস্তাগীস। এটা ফজরের আজান দিয়ে মসজিদে যাবেন, সুন্নত পড়ে 40 বার পড়বেন। এরপরে ইমামের পিছনে ফরজ নামাজ পড়ে দোয়া পড়ে ঘরে আসবেন। আগামীকাল সকাল থেকে আলাম চালু হয়ে যাবে ইনশাআল্লাহ।
I'm unstoppable. I'm a Persia with no brains. I'm invincible. They have won every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today.
Salam Habibi, how are you all? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Lesbian. Welcome to my channel. Bengali channels. Well, now it is the segment number 0, and as segment number 0, we can talk about just wait a minute, moments. Okay, well, everything is okay. Here, well, everything is okay, and now here I can see some points. Well, here we got to know a maulana. We do not know who is the maulana and what is maulana's points. Well, as complete points, we can tell you that what was the maulana's topic. But now, here is the points. Here you can see. Well, if we can read the dua 40 times on the Fajr namaz, Allah can provide me some secret treasure. And here the mullah said, Subhanallah. And now I am going to oppose the points by roasting him, because here we can see here is the several confusions as we can notice. Okay. Well, here we can see now we can say some topics on the points. Now here the trending is, well, I mean when I am recording, here was a trending that is Israel can attack on Pakistan, and here is some tensions in Pakistani military. Okay. Now here I can and watch, and my girlfriend Gal Gadot can say that what if Benjamin Netanyahu can attack on Dhaka, Bangladesh. Yes, you can see, because the 99% of Bangladeshi are Palestinian terrorists. I mean the supporter of Palestinian terrorists. So let's get started at the points. Just see a moment. Well, Gal Gadot, now you can say something. Okay, Michaela? Well, you have the best decision on it. That here, if when what if I can say a Doha, and here are some difficulties on Bangladesh, like a Muslim country, what would happen? Here we can say some points. Now, let's see. Here, the point is, you can notify me. Okay. My first notification points here I can see. Well, here now today in the Masjid of Israel, I mean in Tel Aviv Masjid. Well, I, an Israeli Mossad agent, have say a dua. Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika, Astaghith. Now, here I can say that La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika, Astaghith. Well, now let me say that how the maulana says. If the maulana can say, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa anta, Rahmatika, Astaghith. And here, the negative, the points I can see that when I can return to my home, I can see a secret treasure hidden in my under my house. I could not notice it. Well, but the condition is that I can say the dua in 100, 40 times. Okay. Now, what if I can say 200 times this the dua? That means I can get the secret treasure in my house. Well, but here I am an Israeli Mossad agent. Well, I do not believe that the credibility of the dua, because generally here, first of all, generally here we can say, well, I am feeling some illness. Well, here we can say some points that La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astaghith. Well, now let's see. First of all, let me say the meaning of the dua, where the dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa anta, Rahmatika Astaghith. Let me see what is the meaning. The meaning is that Your Highness, your self-sustenance, there is no one but you who can provide me mercy and some pardon if I can have made some mistakes or ethical crimes. Here, that is the points that we can say. Here, that is the meaning that La ilaha illa anta rahmatika astaghith. And that is the point that why I, an Israeli Mossad agent, can say La Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika astaghith. Because here the current accordance with the September month of the calendar 2025, the current Prime Minister is Benjamin Netanyahu. Here I can say, well, La Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika astaghith. Now let's see what would be the meaning. The meaning would be, Your Highness, your self-sustenance. There is no one but Netanyahu can provide me mercy and some pardons if I make ethical mistakes or the ethical crime. Well, now let's see. What is the ethical crime? That was actually ethics. Okay, you can say that here Michaela is some reforming the fonts. She is with me with some illness and my illness also. Okay. Now here you can see that what is La ilaha? Well, okay. What is the ethical crime? Well, ethical. Here we can see. Well, murder is a crime, and sometimes murder is a terrorism. But if you state the murder, there is no one who can say that I would provide the mercy. Well, if you commit murder, well, in the Supreme Court, your sentence is death penalty. Nobody can pardon you. But here is an exception. Well, if you murder someone, but the murder written by you is a criminal. Well, I mean, that means that if you kill the criminal or the terrorist who have still 5 billion United States dollars or commit some gender unethical honeymoons or commit the murder of 2,000 Jewish humans. Well, then, but you kill the culprit. Here, the promotion is that, well, Netanyahu can provide you a pardon that in that murder case, you cannot sentence, you cannot be sentenced any judiciary penalty or the crime penalty. Here are the points. But perhaps, well, Donald Trump can provide you judiciary penalty or crime penalty or death penalty. Well, here are the points that Ya Hayyum Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika sagis. Why I say the dua? Okay, but now, well, the maulana says that, well, if you say 40 times dua, well, Ya Hayyum Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika astagis. Just for 2 minutes. Okay. Now here we can say, now if we can say some points that La ilaha, if Maulana say La, just 2 minutes. Well, when the Maulana says that La ilaha illa anta rahmatika astagis, that means in the dua 40 times in Fajr namaz, you can be billionaire. Well, here is question for me, the credibility. Okay. Now, what is the credibility? Can be questions. You can see some points. Okay. Now, I would let Michaela to show some photos in YouTube. I mean, show some photos or some documents that can seen by us. Look, so let's get started. Okay. Let's see. Accordance with 2023, the gross domestic product of Bangladesh was 438 billion United States dollars. Well, now we can check the points. Well, let's now let's see what is the United States dollars in Israeli shekels. Now here we can see, well, I am writing dollars to Israeli new shekels. Okay. Just for a moment. Well, here I can say 438. Now here we can see. Well, here in accordance with Israeli new shekels, the gross domestic product of Bangladesh is 1,460 billion Bangladeshi taka in the calendar of 2023. But now, here we can say what is the, it is the points. Well, now here September's points, that was 371, and it becomes for what? 333. Well, but now let me see when I can say La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika astagis. Here, accordance with maulana, I don't know who is she. Well, accordance with maulana, when I can say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika astagis, in Fajr namaz in 40 times. Here is the correct meaning. And the correct meaning is that is very dangerous. Because the correct meaning is, well, I can see 438 times, the 438 billion United States dollars, that means 1,460 billion Israeli news shekel from Bangladesh. Because here in 2023, the gross domestic products of Bangladesh is, well, 1,468 billion Israeli news shekels. Well, it is we could do in 2023. Well, and because 7th October 2023, well, when we have been attacked by Palestinian terrorists, we found that several Bangladeshi supports Palestinian terrorism. Well, their support is only for some Palestinian innocent child, Palestinian innocent women. It was a different thing. But they support Palestinian terrorism just only because they hate us, the state of Israel. Now, let me see why they hate us, the state of Israel. Well, now they hate us, the state of Israel, just because, well, we are a Jewish country. We are only one country, that is Jewish secular country. There are several kafir countries in Europe and Africa, but and Asia. But in Asia, there are several Buddhist countries and one atheist country. Well, Russia and one Christian country claimed by India, because Russia is Asian country claimed by Indians. Well, and there are several European countries, Christian countries in Europe, North America, Latin America, Australia. They are developed or being progressive countries? Well, backdated Christian countries in several backdated Christian countries in Africa, but still there is only one Jewish country of the world, and that is Israel. Okay. Well, now let's back to the points. In the date of 7 October 2023, when several Bangladeshis support Palestinian terrorists, okay, now it's being recorded. Well, when here several Bangladeshi supports Palestinian terrorists, here was a chance in October 1, 2023 that I, an Israeli Mossad agent, can seize the entire of gross domestic product of Bangladesh, because according with the calendar of 2023, well, Bangladesh gross domestic products was 1,460,000,000,000 Israeli new shekels in that times. Okay. But unfortunately, Netanyahu's friends is Narendra Modi, who stay for Qatar and Iran against Israel, because unfortunately Narendra Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, is, I apologize, Narendra Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, is unfortunately a probable spy of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Here's the points. Okay, now let me see what is today's point. Now here we can say the today's point is that, well, here I can say, well, in 2024, I mean the calendar of 2025, the present gross domestic product of Bangladesh is 450 billion United States dollars. Now, what is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is, now, accordance with the calendar of 2025 and the Israeli new shekels, here we can say, well, Israel, well, Bangladesh gross domestic product is almost 1,500,000,000,000 Israeli shekels. And now it is the checkpoints. Now it is the best checkpoints when we can see, well, nowadays I can see 1,500,000,000,000 Israeli shekels. Well, new Israeli shekels. Here I can check it, and as an effect, well, Bangladesh cannot do anything, because Here, well, it is the points accordance with the maulana. Okay. Now let's see. It is for just because I did 400 times. I did a dua 400. I apologize. 40 times in Israeli masjid during the Fajr namaz. And now let's see, check it. What is the dua? I would allow Michaela to show the points where is my dua is written. Now here my dua is written. Well, when I can say Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astagis. Well, in one touch. Now let's see what would happen. Okay. Now here 45 divided by 4, that means 11.25. Okay. When I can say at the Fajr, in the Fajr namaz of Israeli masjid, when I can say Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astagis, in only one time. Here I can seize only 11 billion United States dollar from Bangladesh gross domestic product, accordance with the maulana. Okay. When I can say that Ya Hayyu, well, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astagis, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astagis. I mean, I have read dua in 2 times. Accordance with the maulana, I can seize. Here I can seize 22 billion United States dollars from Bangladesh gross domestic products, where I can say, well, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astagis, in 4 times. Well, I can seize 10% of Bangladesh gross domestic products. But Bangladesh gross domestic products is 450 billion United States dollars. Here, that means, accordance with Doha, I, an Israeli Mossad agent, can seize 45 billion United States dollars from Bangladesh gross domestic products. Okay. Now here, now what if I can say the dua 11 times, where the dua is Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astagis. then what would be the meaning? Okay, the meaning is clear. Well, I can see, almost 56 billion United States dollar from the Bangladesh gross domestic product. Well, if I can say the dua in 11 times, not 11 times, but if I can say the dua in 5 times. Okay. Now, when it is in 5 times, in 10 times, I can say dua. The dua where the dua is Ya Hayyu Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Azagiz. The meaning is that here the meaning is that I can seize 112 billion United States dollars from Bangladesh gross domestic products. That means that would be 20%, 25% of Bangladesh gross domestic products. Okay. And for the 11th time of the dua, where the dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astaghis. That means, I can seize 123 billion United States dollars. That where the meaning is, I can say that where that is the significant way. That would be 27.5% of Bangladesh gross domestic products. Okay. Now the 50% gross domestic product of Bangladesh is 225 billion United States dollars. Okay. That means almost 750 billion Israeli shekels. Well, now when an Israeli Mossad agent, can say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astaghis, where only in 40 times when I am attending on Fajr Namaz of Israeli Masjid. Accordance with the maulana, I can say as what was the dua. And now when maulana would read the dua, or when maulana would read the entire points, he would be ashamed, because the point is that here I am roasting, providing dua properly. Okay. Now here Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astaghis. And now I am attacking on Bangladesh. Okay. That means, and that is only in 20 times I can seize then I can see only 50% gross domestic products of Bangladesh, where the 50% is 750 billion Israeli shekels. Now here, now that is the points. Well, I don't know. The maulana perhaps provide the dua on Islamic bills in almost two years earlier. I mean the 2023 or the 2022. Well, now let's see the points. Where, well, in 2023, October 1, when I can say, Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astaghith. Hence, in 20 times in Fajr Namaz of the Israeli Masjid, here I can achieve, I can see 220 billion United States dollars in the calendar of 2023. That was 50% of Bangladesh gross domestic product. But here, now let's see what's going on. That was 730 billion Israeli shekels. Okay. Now, that is the large number for Bangladeshis, because Bangladeshi economy is shrinking and Israeli economy is growing. Here is the points. Well, now you can see, 20 times here we can say some points that is now as a stupid for me, but that's true. Okay. But now here we can say this is for only for Bangladesh. Okay. Now my question is, what if I would attack both on Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh? Let's can see. Okay, Michaela, you can check on it. Okay, and you can speak Bengali as a personal point. अरे भाई, কি করি? আচ্ছা, কি করি? আগে স্ক্রিনশট অফ করে লই। ওয়েল, Gal Gadot তো ভাই কইছে আর কি, কামটা কিছুটা করছে। ওকে, এখন আমি কি করি? তো এখানে মুই লিখি গ্রস domestic product. ও এখানে আবার বাংলাদেশ আইছে। तो मुई याने पाकिस्तान लिखूं ओके तो मुई याने अच्छा याने तो वही 384 এক বছরে মনে হয় এটা এটা হয়ে গেছে ওকে মনে মানে সব সবকিছু ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ ওকে মানে মুই পেস্ট করতেছি ও পাকিস্তান এটা আড়াইয়া আই আর এটা লিখতেছি ওকে Gal Gadot well you can check it now here you can start that what is the parts okay perhaps I can live okay well okay now here I am talking about well what is the gross domestic products of Iran that is well 463 billion well now why we are attacking on Iran Pakistan and Bangladesh okay we can say some points now let's see well the point was that was as significant as we can say now let's check the significant points okay now here the significant points I have noticed well gross domestic product of Iran is 460 billion United States dollars and in Bangladesh that was 450 billion United States dollars okay the combined combination of the gross domestic product both of Iran and Bangladesh that is 913 billion 13 billion United States dollars now let's check it that what was the meaning okay now here we can say okay now here we can say well the combination accordance with Israeli shekels the combination of gross domestic product both of Iran and Bangladesh that is 3 trillion 41 billion Israeli shekels well we Israeli do not say any lakh, crore, Arab, Kharab. We don't say because well after Khalifa Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu well here is the several influence of we Israeli on we Israeli there is several times European influence. We have British influence I mean, we have England influence. We have French influence. We have Spanish influence. We have German influence, and we have Poland influence, and we have Russian influence. Well, we accept educations in that times where anybody in the world literally could say that we are cursed nations. Well, now, and that was 1245 AD, the calendar of 1245. Well, now in the calendar of 2025, the citizens of the entire Europeans would see the citizen of Israel of the calendar 2025. Well, Russian king would blame himself that why I did not convert to Judaism. Why I did not want to be Russian Jewish king. Well, in that times, Russian Jewish king want to be convert of any Abrahamic religions with a research. Well, in that times of our economy is just properties in Russia. Literally anybody can say that Jewish Russians are cursed, and Muslim Russian was the blessed nation. I mean, blessed community, because in that times, that was the time where none of Isaac Newton were born, none of Robert Boyle were born, none of Charles Darwin were born, and none of Albert Einstein were born. That were the times. Well, in scientific educations, Muslims were the leading community in that times. And now anybody can be shocked that how can Muslims consider themselves as a leading community, because Muslim leader, because in that time, well, when here was a questions that why is gravity? Well, the answer was, well, gravity was from Allah Rabbul Alamin. When the question is, what is the gravity rules, equations? The answer was, the gravity equation was La ilaha illa anta ad-dunya. Because, well, that was the calendar of 1245 in Russia. None of Albert Isaac Newton were born in England, and none of Albert Einstein were born in Germany. But when when Englander scientist Isaac Newton researched about the gravity, well, Muslim reject the scientific educations, but at the same time, Jewish communities starting to accept the scientific communications. I mean the scientific educations. After accepting the scientific educations, here anybody can notice that secretly Jewish European communities are being progressive and being the rich and developed religious community minutes by minutes. Well, and there you can see the results. Now, when anybody can say Muslim is a blessing community and Jewish is cursed community, well, the educated person send them into mental asylum. Because the reality is that Jewish are the blessing community and Muslims are cursed community. Okay, now it's fine. Well, now here is not a problem. Here is nothing and a sudden event. If we Israeli Mossad agent can seize 3,041,000,000,000 Israeli shekel from the gross domestic product both of Iran and Bangladesh. Okay. Now let's see. Well, what is the points? Okay. Accordance with now let's see. What is the accordance of maulana? Now let's check it. Well, accordance of maulana, here we can say, when I can say La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika asagis. Okay. Now let me say the complete dua. Let's check it. What if, well, let's check it, the Maulana statements. Well, what in accordance with Maulana statements, well, what if I can say La ilaha illa Netanyahu rahmatika astagis in 10 times. Now let's see. That is 25%. And I want to seize the entire gross domestic products both of Iran and Bangladesh, because I am an Israeli Mossad agent and Iran and Bangladesh is my enemy country. Okay, now let's see. Still, I can seize 750 billion Israeli shekels, both from Iran and Bangladesh. That would be 25% of the gross domestic product, both of Iran and Bangladesh. Well, now after this, Maulana would be say on the road, Allah the. Okay. Here is what is Maulana's topics. Okay. Now, what if Here I can say some points. Well, now here we can say, what if I can say only one time dua, where dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astagis. Okay. Now that would be the points. What is the dangerous points we can estimate? Because here we can see in Fajr Namaz of the Israeli Masjid in London. Then I can see 75 billion Israeli shekels from the gross domestic product, both of Iran and Bangladesh. Okay. Now, I have discussed one time dua, I have discussed 10 time dua, but now let me see. What if I have discussed 40, I have discussed 20 times dua. Okay. Well, when I can read a dua 20 times in the Fajr Namaz of Israeli Masjid, where the dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astagis. Well, according with Maulana, I can see 1,521,000,000,000 Israeli shekels from the combined of gross domestic products, both of Iran and Bangladesh. Because both are our enemy, national enemy country. Because we are Israeli Mossad agent. Well, here we can see we are Israeli Mossad agent. Well, now what if I have said, well, 30 times dua on Israeli Masjid, where time is Fajr Namaz times, and the dua was Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astagis. Okay. Now, according with the points, according with Maulana, I can see an Israeli Mossad agent can seize 2 trillion 280 billion Israeli shekels from the combination of gross domestic products, both of Iran and Bangladesh, because that was 75% of, well, the combination of gross domestic product, both of Iran and Bangladesh. Well, that is the point. Well, that is what is going on accordance with the Islamic maulana. Okay. Well, and now, now I am going to tell what is the national domestic product of Pakistan 2025 in United States dollars. Okay, that is 385 billion United States dollars. Okay, now let's see the combinations of three countries where country is Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Okay. Well, here now we can find the combination of gross domestic products uh, both of Iran, Pakistan, Bangladesh is 1,298 billion United States dollars. Why? Where I am taking that? Now, here I am telling you what I am checking. Okay. Here is gross domestic product of Pakistan 2025. That is almost 385 billion United States dollars. Now, here the Iranian gross domestic product is 463 billion United States dollars, and on the other hand, well, what is gross domestic product of Bangladesh? That is 450 billion United States dollars. Okay. Now let's say 385. Okay. 1298. Now here we can say, that is almost 4,324 billion Israeli shekel as the combination of gross domestic product both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Now here we can see. Let's see what's the points. Okay. Now here we can see the points that was less surprising and more shocking. Okay. Now, accordance with the Maulana, well, what if I, Gal Gadot, an Israeli Mossad agent, can say a dua in Fajr Namaz of the Israeli Masjid in one times where the dua is La ilaha Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astaghis. Then what will be the points? Now let's check it. Now privately I am calculating. I am dividing 4,324 by 40. Okay. That means I can seize 100 8.1 billion Israeli shekel from the products from the gross domestic product both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Okay. Now, what is the geographical share? Okay. Now here we can see, I can, in the case, I can seize 36 billion Israeli shekel from Iran, 36 billion Israeli shekel from Pakistan, and 36 billion Israeli shekels from Bangladesh. Okay. Well, now I am checking the points. Well, ping, cal, calculator. Here is what is the points of Bing calculator. I don't know that if that would be okay for it. Yeah, Gal Gadot. Everything is fine. Okay. Here we can see. Okay, everything is fine. And now you can check it. Okay, Michaela. Good job. Well, now here I can check some points as a private moments. Well, here we can see 4, 3, 2, 4. Well, 9. 4, 3, 2, 4. Okay. Divided by. Now here what would give the point for us? Okay. Calculator you can see. Okay, Michaela. Shukran. Well, now, dear Habibi, accordance with Islamic maulana, here you have noticed that, well, here when I can read the Islamic Dua, where when I can read the Dua in Israeli Masjid Fajr time in 10 times, where the Dua in every time the Dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astaghith. Here in 40 times in every Fajr namaz of Israeli Masjid, I can see 4,324,000,000,000 Israeli shekels, where that was the combination of gross domestic product both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Now, what is meaning of that? Now, let's check it out. As a geographical share, I can see, well, 1,442,000,000,000 Israeli shekel from gross domestic product of Iran. I can see 1,442,000,000,000 Israeli shekel, where that was the gross domestic product of Pakistan. Well, I can see 440 billion Israeli shekels, where that can be gross domestic product of Bangladesh as a share of three Islamic countries. Okay, now let's see, what if I can, now here we can say, what if I can read a dua in one time in every Fajr namaz of Israeli masjid and start to attack on Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Now let's check it. Well, just one time. Here, well, here we can say, I can see, previously I have said that I can see 108 billion Israeli shekel from the combination of gross domestic product both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Okay, now where is the share? Geographical share is that 108 divided by 3. As a geographical share, I can see 36 billion Israeli shekel from Iran, 36 billion Israeli shekel from Pakistan, and 36 billion Israeli shekel from Bangladesh. Okay. And now, well, now here we can see the points. Now, what if I can say the dua 2 times in every Fajr namaz of Israeli masjid, where the dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astagis, in 2 times. Here I can see 72 billion Israeli shekel from Iran, 72 billion Israeli shekel from Pakistan, and 72 billion Israeli shekel from Bangladesh. Okay, now what if I can say, well, the dua 11 times in every Fajr namaz of Israeli masjid, where the dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Netanyahu Rahmatika Astagis, in well, as 11 times you can see what is the result. 4324 divided by 40 multiplied by 11. Okay. That means I can see 1,189,000,000,000 Israeli shekel from the combination of gross domestic products both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Okay. Now let's check the share. The share is that, well, 396 billion Israel shekels I can see from the gross domestic product of Iran. 396 billion Israeli shekels I can see from Pakistan, and 396 billion Israeli shekel I can see from Bangladesh. And now let's check the points. Well, what is the percentage I can see where I can now let's check it. Well, 100. Now let's see what is the points when I can say 11 times dua in Fajr namaz of Israeli Masjid, where my dua is La ilaha, well, I mean, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astaghith. Here, well, I can see 300 an attack on the gross domestic product both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Dua time, reading time is 11 times per every Fajr namaz. Well, here I can see almost 26.42% gross domestic product of Bangladesh, because I can see 396 billion Israeli shekel from Bangladesh, where the gross domestic product is 1,500,000,000,000 Israeli shekels. Okay. Now you can see the points. Well, now what if I can say a dua in 23 times for every Fajr namaz of Israeli Masjid, where dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Astaghith, and I have started to attack on the combination of gross domestic products on both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Now let's see what would happen. Okay, divided by 42 divided by 40 multiplied by 23. Okay. Here, well, I can see 2,486 billion Israeli shekels from, well, 2 billion, okay, from the combination of gross domestic products, both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Well, here is my point that I can seize 2,486,000,000,000 Israeli shekels because I am an Israeli agent, and here Iran, both of Iran, Pakistan, and Bangladesh is my enemy country. Okay, let's see what is the share. Well, let's check the share. Well, 828 billion Israeli shekel here I can seize from Pakistan. 828 billion Israeli shekels I can seize from the gross domestic product of Iran, and 828 billion Israeli shekels I can seize both I can seize from the gross domestic product of Bangladesh. But now let me say that what would happen? Okay, now here 100% multiplied by 100% divided by, okay, 1,500,000,000,000. Now let's see. Okay, when I am reciting a dua 23 times for every Fajr namaz of Israeli masjid, where dua is Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Netanyahu, Rahmatika Sagis, and start to attack on gross domestic product, both of Iran, Pakistan, Bangladesh. As a geographical share, I can seize almost 55.25% from the gross domestic products of Bangladesh. Okay, and here, well, we are now crystally helpless for that. But here is something something is pointing points for me. Okay, but now, well, here is the topics for me. Okay, here, Michaela, in the next segment, you can you can say has an anchor who would be Robert Downey Jr., and he would discuss what if he would say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Donald Trump, Rahmatika Astagis. Because here, well, Robert Downey Jr. is an American.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a Persia with no brakes. I'm invincible. They outwin every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today.
Okay, and now here we can say, well, it is, well, at the least Well, okay. Now here we can say some points. Well, it is a difficult point, but it is a great point for me. Well, the great point is like that, that here I can express myself that how I can do for it. Well, now here today I am including a person. Well, here our favorite person is Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. Well, he would represent about the Americans. Well, now here we can say, well, what he would roast the Islamic Bangladeshi maulana, because Islamic Bangladeshi maulana says some dua, Islamic dua, only for the reason of our secret treasure. Okay. Here the dua was Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa anta rahmatika astaghith. And now, dear Robert Downey Jr., you can say that what is your opinion about the Islamic Dua? Well, because as my accordance with my opinions, well, I think Islamic Dua is in the kind of the useless Dua. Okay. Now, let's see your opinions. Okay. Well, Shukran, dear Michaela. Well, here we can see, well, here I am going to have some points. Well, I'm going to have some points, some things. Well, here I can click the points. Okay, just for a moment. Well, and now here we can say, let's convert it into a smart object. Without converting something a smart object, here you can see it is almost impossible. So here you can say some here points. Well, it is my first clicking points, and now here I am going to say any second clicking points. Well, it is my favorite math teacher. Okay. Now, here you can see, well, we have several monies. It doesn't matter, we can be rich or poor with this level of money. It doesn't matter. Just for 2 minutes, I would be back. Some deformations of my health. Okay. Now here you can see, well, yes, Islamic Bangladeshi maulana said that if we say some an Islamic dua in Fajr namaz of our masjid in 40 times, here we can get a secret treasure in our house? Well, what is the dua? Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa anta, rahmatika astagis. Okay. Now, dear Michaela, you see that I am an American. Well, as I am American, I can say La Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Donald Trump, rahmatika astagis. Okay. And we can get employment diplomatical victory against Bangladesh. Okay. Now, as an Americans, we know, well, information is money. Because with some information, we can defeat our enemies. Okay. And now, in the current times, well, in modern times, our enemy country is Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Iran. Well, Pakistan, as Muslim country, Pakistan can be our friendly country. But what about Iran and Bangladesh? They are crystally an enemy country of us. Okay. Well, now here we can see that Bangladesh is a supporter country of Palestinian terrorists. Okay. Now, but her favorite YouTuber is Professor Dr. Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean the Mathematicus. Okay. Now, who is this? I thought he is would be the best person. Well, here we are wrong. Now here, now you can see what is the latest video of the favorite math YouTuber of Bangladeshis who support Palestinian terrorists. Well, 35 multiplied by 15, 88 multiplied by 68, and most of the relatable difficult mathematics is 8242 multiplied by 2. Well, that is what the that is unfortunately I can not explain some things. That is why Bangladesh can be defeated by United States of America in employment diplomatical warfare. Well, now here we oh, I forgot some things. Okay. I can be 2 minutes mute to show that what is the points here we have to mention as here the meanings of employment diplomacy. Okay. Now here, now let's see. when Michaela researching about employment diplomacy, now let's see what is the result. The result is, employment diplomacy refer to the practice of applying diplomatical skills such as tact, effective communications, empathy, and conflict resolutions in workplace relationship of manage sensitive issue, first collaborations, and maintenance positive professional interactions. Okay. Now let's see what is the definition and core concept of employment diplomacy. Okay. Now here we can see, and here we can see the employment diplomacy is essentially diplomacy practice with an employment or workplace context. It involves skillfully handling difficulty on sensitive circumstances and relationship at work, including negotiations, conflict, feedback delivery, and the interaction of colleagues, supervisors, and subordinates. The goal is to navigate a workplace dynamic, trustfully, and respectfully to maintain harmony and productivity while achieving organized and individual goals. Okay. Diplomacy in employment requires balancing your own needs and those of others, showing sensitivity toward the different opinions, backgrounds, and feeling management communications. Okay. It is what employment diplomacy. Well, now let's see what is key feature of employment diplomacy. That is effective communications, conflict resolutions. Okay, empathy, emotions of intelligence, objective problems, and cultural personal sensitivities. Okay. Now, when today's dear Michaela, you would not believe, but okay. Now, you can see here some missing at the moments. Yeah. I would let Robert Downey Jr. to have a complete statement about Bangladesh. Okay. Now here I can say, now when we can say something like Bangladesh employment diplomacies. Okay, Michaela, you would not believe that I can say 40 a dua 40 times in I can say dua 40 times in Islamic words. What would I say? Yes, I have said I have read an Islamic dua 40 times in Fajr Namaz of American Masjid. Now let's see. The dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Donald Trump Rahmatika Astaghith. Now here you would not believe it, what I can see. In the word, the meaning is your highness and their your majesty, your highness. Well, there is none but Donald Trump who can provide me mercy and pardon about my ethical crimes or some ethical mistakes or some ethical evil uh, deeds. Well, now you would not believe, Michaela, what I have noticed. Well, now here first key is effective communications. Key feature of the key feature of employment diplomacy is effective communications. Well, convey message clearly and respectfully to avoid misunderstanding and build mutual respects. Okay, and now, well, as I can notice Bangladeshis as the supporter of Palestinian terrorists, the Bangladeshi Palestinian terrorists are, I mean, the Bangladeshi supporters of Palestinian terrorists are not effective in communications when they are employed. Well, their conveying message is not clear and they say something like abusive words in any social medias. Well, here you can see when they are Bangladeshi YouTube managers. Well, here is the problems. And the problems I have notified is that when Bangladeshi supporters of Palestinian terrorists became the manager of YouTube Bangladesh, here you can see that here when your quality contents of YouTube has been received a community guidelines strike, where in the channels, well, you support Islam and you have an analytical knowledge about Islam, that how Islam is going to become a feminist religion, where feminism is a cancer for the gender equality. Well, here you can see their conveying message is not clear. Well, in this message of the community guidelines strike, in any Islamic video, their message is that your video is violating the Islamic community guidelines. Nice. But in real life, it's clear that you are an Islamic woman and you have an Islamic analysis, Islamic analytical knowledge. Well, you know that how the Islamic verse is promoting feminism, where we have no hope about the gender equal employments. gender equality in employments. Well, your point here, you can explain that how the feminist ayah can ensure that Muslim man can leave Islam and become the anti-Islamic persons. Here is in the topic of gender equality. That was your explanation, analytical knowledge about feminist Islamic ayah. But in that videos, well, the Bangladeshi managers, YouTube managers who support Palestinian terrorists can provide you the several points. They can provide you the community guidelines track, and their message would be like that: you are violating the Islamic community guideline. You are hurting the Islamic community. Hence, I would provide you a strike. Well, here you have three Islamic analytical videos where, well, your explanation is what is the reason that when a Muslim man supports gender equality, how they leave the feminist Islam and became an misogynist atheist. Here is your explanation in 3 videos. And in 3 videos, here the call you go. Okay. Well, now here, dear Michaela, here our problem is that when now I would like to say it. Well, when you have a 3 Islamic video, or you have a video with an Islamic research, the Islamic analysis, that how some women are being, the more feminist because of the feminist Islamic ayah, and how males and transgenders leaving our Islam and becoming an atheist just because of the feminist Islamic ayat against the gender equality. Then the Bangladeshi YouTube managers who support Palestinian terrorists, he would provide you a community guidelines tracks. Well, he would provide you a community guidelines tracks where you have no guilt, and as an appeal, you say that why your video should not be under community guidelines strike, because you are protecting an Islamic community. That is real. But still, here you can see a point to be noted, my lord. Here you can see the still they receive their message, but your message, but they have no clear reply, and their reply is not respectfully. Moreover, here are the features, key feature of for employment diplomacy is where they have convey message to avoid misunderstanding and build a mutual respect. Okay. They want to promote the feminist Islam. Okay. But if you have an Islamic analytical contents on YouTube, well, they have no respect for you. Well, and they are a Palestinian terrorist. They would not say clearly at the first points message. Hence, you would not know if they are a Palestinian supporters of Palestinian terrorists or the neutral in the conflict between Israel and Palestinian terrorists. Okay, and here this is the points. Well, probably you have a respect for them, but you have an Islamic analytical mind. You have an Islamic analytical content on YouTube. Hence, they have no respect for you. Okay. Well, here I have notified that. Well, in the key of effective communications, well, they have no respect for you. Well, in the points, the keyword is to avoid misunderstanding. But here, when a Bangladeshi YouTube manager is the supporter of Palestinian terrorists, and you are an Islamic analytical minded YouTuber, well, the misunderstanding between you and them would be larger minute by minute in lieu to avoid the misunderstanding. Okay, and hence you can see that the effective communication is not possible if we have a YouTube manager as a Bangladeshi who is supporter of Palestinian terrorists. Okay, now here we can say conflict. Second key feature is conflict resolutions. Addressing disagreement daily and tactfully preventing acceleration and fostering collaborations. Okay. Well, here you can see address. You have to address this. In the early moment here, as you are an Islamic YouTuber, well, when you have this some problems you are facing from the YouTube features, here you can address that what is your disagreement with the new features of YouTube you are encountering. Okay. Well, and here between the collaboration between you and the YouTube managers and tactfully preventing escalations can solve the problems. But here, well, your problem is that why toxic feminists would be promoted. I mean, why a toxic feminist would be promoted on YouTube? It is your disagreements. Okay. And I know that anybody has a disagreements. Okay, now here I would like to have a first point. Here we know that there is conflict resolutions, as you noticed. Okay, Michaela? Okay. Now here you can see that, well, uh, here you can see the conflict resolutions is that, well, now here Professor Dr. Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean de Mathematicus, uh, is a Brazilian YouTuber. Okay, now what is his YouTube content? That is 35 multiplied by 15, and the relatable toughest contents is 8242 multiplied by 2. Okay, it is the toughest questions, problems. Well, accordance with Dr. Raval Basto, Mr. Bean de Mathematia. Okay, and now here you can see there is such a problem. So, well, we have notifies that in the several points 8242 multiplied by 2, it is the general problems we are facing. Well, and our point is that we know this type of mathematics as when we born from our mother's home. Well, at the age of 3 days, we know that what is the value of 8242 multiplied by 2. Still, well, here Professor Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean de Mathematia, got here almost 1.4 million subscribers with almost 9,200 videos, and it is the problematics. Well, and you are reporting that why this mathematical teacher is promoting. I mean, why are the Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean de Mathematicus, is being over promoted in YouTube? Here you can notice the YouTube authority. But here, when you are in Bangladesh and you notify that to YouTube that the Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean de Mathematica is over promoted. Well, and in the past, well, they would remove your YouTube account without any notice if they are Bangladeshi and supporters of Palestinian terrorists. Well, what is the cause of this? Well, the cause is that clear. Okay. Where is the points? Okay. The point is that addressing this agreement early. You can address the disagreement that why Dr. Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean the Mathematician, is over promoted in YouTube, where the other person, Andy Mac, is not promoted as soon as possible. Okay. Now here I can say, well, okay, here I can say some points and I would notify it. Okay. Well, here Dr. Rafael Bastos, Mr. Bean the mathematician, here you can notify this. Well, here 171 likes. I don't know why. Here you can see 433 multiplied by 3. Okay. 339, 4, 1 to 12, and here 133. What is the points? I don't know. Okay, now here 430 multiplied by, well, 1 to 9. Okay. Well, here 129. Now here 0, 3 is 0 multiplied by 0, sum by 9 is 9. Okay. 2 sum by 3 is 5, and 4 sum by 1 is 5. 559. Here is the points. And we know that, but still we know that when our age is 3 hours, we know that already. Even every person can know it when they are not capable to go to school. They are know that because even nowadays illiterate would know that this level of mathematics. Yes, but still here you can notify this. Well, and I would the Palestinian supporters who are Bangladeshis are subscriber of the math teachers, and that is the problem for us. And here when here is the point that when well, you have several disagreements about the Islamic points, you have several disagreements. Now nobody can support from the YouTube Bangladesh because the managers would be the supporters of Palestinian terrorists, because they want to get a job. I mean, they want to get an employment with this level of knowledge, and here you have the disagreements of it. Well, they would provide you 3 community guidelines strike, or without any strike, they would terminate your channels. And there, when Bangladeshis are supporters of Palestinian terrorists, but their favorite math teacher is this. Well, I don't think that our YouTube can be a proper educated social medias under the Bangladeshi YouTube manager of the support to be the supporters of the Palestinian terrorists. Okay, well, and now here your what is your favorite points? What is your favorite contents? I want to say. Okay. Now here you can notify it. Well, yeah, here your favorite person is Andy Math. Okay. Now what is the likes? Like is 443. Okay. Now let's see what is the mathematical problem solutions. Here x, y, and z both are real number. Okay, let's solve for z. Okay. Well, z is variable and the rest of this is okay value. Well, now here we can see x square divided by y square enter plus y square divided by x square. Okay. What is that? That is bracket of x plus y enter plus y by divided by x enter bracket close enter square subtract by 2. It is the formula. Okay. Now here the second equation is x plus y enter plus y plus z. Okay, x divided by y enter plus y divided by x enter equal to z. Okay. Now here as accordance with equation 1, now here we can see as quadratic equations. What is that? That is x squared subtract by 3x subtract by 4 is equal to 0. Now, okay, z square subtract by 3z subtract by 4 is equal to 0. Now, what is the value of j from the quadratic equations? Let's find out. Okay, that is 3 plus minus square root bracket 9 plus 16 enter divided by 2. Okay. What is 9 plus 16? That is 25. What is square root of 25? That is 5. 3 here we can see 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Well, 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. On the other hand, 3 subtract by 5 is equal to negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is equal to negative 1. Now here, now let's see. Okay. Well, here you can see when x divided by y enter plus y divided by x is equal to negative 1. Okay, now the value of x square divided by y square plus y square divided by x square is equal to z square by 2. Z square subtract by 2. Okay. Now negative 1 plus negative. What is negative 1 is enter square, that is 1. 1 subtract by 2 is negative 1. Evidently. It is left hand side. But what about the right hand side? Here you can say that well, 3 multiplied by bracket of negative 1 is equal to negative 3. Negative 3 plus 2 is, we can see, negative 1. Okay. Now here you can see therefore in the points where here we can see the negative 1, but well the two equations contains a same value, that is negative 1. Two complex variable is different, but the value is 1. So that is not a okay. And here the formula is well, x square divided by y square into plus y square divided by x square. That is well equal to bracket of x plus y, x divided by y plus y divided by x, enter square, enter subtract by 2. Okay. Now here we can see negative 1 negative 1 is equal to negative 1 square subtract by 2. Okay. But here we cannot probably is that here problem is solved. But what about the second problem? The problem is how we can value x and y. Okay. Now here y divided by x is well. Now here we can see as an equation as second accordance with second equations. Here we can see that well p divided by 1 by p is equal to negative 1. Okay. And here we can see p square divided by 1 by p square is equal to negative 1. Well, p to the power 4. Now, when both two complex variable where went through, here you can see in that circumstance we cannot find equation of x and y, value of x and y as a real values. But what about the when points when z is equal to 4? Now here, well, 3z plus 2, 4, 12 plus 2, 2 that means 14. Now here only the z value of z to be 4, we can find x and y as a real value. Well, here we can notify it. Well, and here is the parts that well how can we support Israel? Okay. Now, accordance with Bangladeshi managers of YouTube Bangladesh, Well, how how can we find if he is supporters of Israel or not? How can we find it if he would support us of or Israel or Palestine? Here is the simple points that which level of mathematics he would like to learn. I mean, he would like to to be educated in the school of class 6. Okay. Well, now here you can notify that this type of mathematical short would be promoted by the Bangladeshi managers of YouTube Bangladesh because they are Palestinian supporters. But you want to learn that this level of mathematics. Okay. Now here, accordance with them, it is justified that your channel, your YouTube account should be terminated. Okay. And this is the disagreement cannot be tactically solved as a disagreement, addressing disagreement early. Well, but what if Americans became the manager of YouTube Bangladesh? Here you can see that, well, okay, here you can see this, he is an American. First of all, he would be promoted more, or of course, but the second point is that when you manager of YouTube Bangladesh would be Americans. Well, here you can say that we Americans can provide promote this type of mathematical contents because we can be in the two sides. One, we are neutral in the topic of Israel and versus Palestinian terrorists. And the second point is we are the supporters of Israel. Okay. Now here that is why the conflict solutions Bangladesh can be loser of the employment diplomacy. Now I want to address the second points. I mean the third points. Okay. Now third point is empathy and emotional intelligence. Okay. Understanding and respecting the feelings and perception of co-workers to respond appropriately. Okay. Well, here, but in it, here I can say, when we Americans YouTuber say an Islam. Okay. And now here you can see what is the points. We can be notified. Here the third point is that empathy and emotional intelligence. Okay. Now here you can see that understand what is the meaning. The meaning is that understanding and respecting the feelings and perception of co-workers to respond appropriately. Okay. Now here we can say what is the meanings. Well, here okay now let me see what is perception of co-workers. Okay, now let's decide on other YouTube parts. Now let's topic about Tesla. Well, here co-workers feeling is that they want to manufacture a car where the fuel would be battery and the battery would be charged by artificial sun and the temperature of artificial solar arc reactor is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is the this is for workers feeling that we have to manufacture it. Okay. Well, here empathy and emotional intelligence is that we have to understand and respect the feelings of and perceptive of co-workers. Okay. Now here we can say that how Bangladesh workers of Tesla can be fair in employment diplomacy. Well, now here American co-workers feeling and perception is that we have to manufacture a car where fuel would be battery and the battery would be charged by arc reactor of artificial sun, where artificial solar arc reactor temperature would be 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But on the other hand, here we can see that on the other hand, Bangladeshi co-workers of Tesla would contains a feeling that we have to generate a car where the car would operate 176 kilometers in 1 liter of petrol. Well, and and if I read, we American co-workers read the Islamic Dua at the Fajr Namaz times, where they have to read the Islamic Dua in 40 times, where the Dua is Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Donald Trump, Rahmatika Astagis. Okay. And here they would understand that American workers of the Tesla would understand that if their Bangladeshi co-workers feeling is to be respected or not. They can understand it, but they cannot respect the feelings of Bangladeshi co-workers of Tesla. Okay. And here we can defeat Bangladeshis in the employment diplomacy. Okay. Now here objective problem solving. Oh. Now here I have discussed it in effective communication and conflict resolutions. Okay, the cultural and interpersonal sensitivity. Oh my God. In the points, Bangladeshi would be deported from every Bangladeshi would be deported from the United States of America. In the points, well, Ilyas Hussein, journalist Ilyas Hussein, and well, Bangladeshi journalist Ilyas Hussein and Mubassir Islam, the Bangladeshi YouTuber, would be deported from America and Canada because their culture is that would like to support Palestinian terrorists. It doesn't matter if Palestinian terrorists would be wrong or not. Okay, that is what's the points. Now, in that points, here I can notify. We can be wait for 2 minutes. Well, now in the problem when the entries to be employments of the American company here, our international employment job market requirement is 6 to the power bracket of square root x, well, bracket plus 1, enter subtract by, well, 6 to the power brackets square root x bracket subtract by 1 equal to 7. But when Bangladesh is a supporter country of Palestinian terrorists, their favorite mathematical YouTube content is 37 multiplied by 23 is equal to what? Okay, now here, well, according, what is the treasure for we Americans? Well, we Americans believe the original secret, original treasure is, well, employment diplomacy. Well, now, as an American CIA agent, if I, Robert Downey Jr., a Muslim American, can say an Islamic Dua 40 times in Fajr Namaz of American Masjid, where the Islamic Dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Donald Trump Rahmatika Astagis. Well, and here we can say, we can notify that Bangladeshi co-worker of American companies are effectless. They cannot effectless in communications. Well, they cannot resolve the conflict. They cannot solve the problems. They cannot have contents and intellectual, emotional intelligence and empathy. They cannot have a cultural respect. Well, we can deport all of Bangladeshis from the American company to Bangladeshi village, because the Bangladeshi co-workers of American companies are the supporter of Palestinian terrorists, and that is the problems that how, well, we can solve our problems for the points. Okay, it is what is our diplomacy, and now here I can solve our diplomatical points. Okay, here is our American diplomatical victories. Well, Intelligence army, intelligence agencies can be RNAW or ISI. Just for 2 minutes, I would be back. Okay. Well, here you can see that. Well, because of our diplomacies, here you can see. Rahmatik, Robert Downey Jr., an American CIA agent, said in one Fajar Namaz of American Najib to succeed the Napoleon protest against KP Sharma oil. Okay. Here, before the protest in Nepal, well, math class would be like that. What is the value of 37 multiplied by 23? And we got answers is 830. And but still, the Nepalian unemployment is 40%. That means when in the populations of 10 millions, well, for in the population of 1 crore, 40 lakhs Nepalians are unemployed. Okay. But suddenly, I have recited an Islamic dua. The dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum La ilaha illa Donald Trump Rahmatika Astagis. Okay. Now we know KP Sharma is the communist leaders. Okay. After KP Sharma resigning, we can say the math class is 7 to the power cube root x 7 to the power bracket of cube root x bracket close plus 1 equal to enter equal to 8. And here the value of x is bracket of ln 8 divided by ln 7 bracket close subtract by 1 bracket close enter cube. And here unemployment is 0.4. That means, for 1 crore Nepalians, only 4 lakhs are unemployed. Okay. We could reduce thus almost 39.6% unemployment of the entire populations of Nepal. And for the entire unemployed populations, that is dramatically 99.9%. This is our victories. Well, here we can see that is our victories. I can be notified. Okay, here is as American CIA agent, Robert Downey Jr. believe that our treasure is diplomatical victory. And here, as we can say, Islamic maulana say, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, that according to Islamic maulana of Bangladesh, if we can say Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum, La ilaha illa Donald Trump, Rahmatika Astagi, we can get these treasures. But I know that that is the points what what Bangladeshis Maulana would not want that we would like this type of treasures, and that is the problem she is facing. Okay, Michaela, I think video would be off because here in Bangladesh here is monsoon seasons, and September in the rainy season here is some problems of editing you can face. Okay, well, I think our video length would be stop in here.
I'm unstoppable.
I'm a Persia with no brakes.
I'm invincible.
They outwin every single game.
I'm so powerful.
I don't need batteries to play.
I'm so confident.